What's up, nerds? This is Nerds Gone Rogue Radio, episode 86.
Woo! Getting up there.
That's Corey, our video in chief. How are you, sir?
Great. So great.
The silent voice right now is Moose.
Woo!
And with so much trauma in the hospital ED, it's kind of hard being me, M-A-double-T. Yes, I just did that.
That's fine.
I'm Matthew Keel, and I'm sorry.
You're not white, you're clear.
Why's it gotta be race?
I am what I hate, white people.
White people, sometimes they suck.
Sometimes.
Not sometimes.
Anyway, so what are y'all playing? It's been a week since we did this. Y'all play any games?
Has it only been a week?
It's only been a week.
Yeah, I've been playing some games.
Cool.
So last week I stopped and picked up a memory card for the Switch, and because they had one on sale, like 128 gigabyte on sale. Mm-hmm. And even though I'm going physical with like a lot of the AAA stuff, I'm still going to buy digital for some, indies. And then I've been playing Cave Story Plus on my Switch and thoroughly enjoying that. I got pretty far at lunch today, so I'm excited to keep playing that. Still playing through Gravity Rush 2. Some the game, like some changes from the first game. Now I thought they would add a lock-on, like a lock-on would have been pretty cool for targets, but they didn't. But they did add a like L1 now just shuts up, returns you to normal gravity. So like in the first one, like if you didn't stick a landing, like you'd have to return to a flat surface that if you hit it, it would turn off your gravity field and return you back to normal gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like if you didn't stick it just right, you'd be standing there on it and it wouldn't like turn off the gravity field. Like it wouldn't return to normal gravity. Well, now they have a button that just shuts it off. So like you could be like floating towards the ground and like 5 feet from the ground, hit L1, and it'll shut off your field and you'll go back to regular gravity and she'll just land.
Like
you don't know. Like I only found in the first one it was like every so often that it was a pain in the ass. But in lieu of them adding a lock on, the targeting is a lot better, I feel. So that kind of like those two factors kind of offset the fact that I really wanted a lock on. Like it's kind of like, all right, I'm fine with that. Don't need it. Having fun. Let's go. Kind of disappointed with is they like funnel you through side quests. So like you'll be playing the main story and then you'll get to a point in the story where it's like she'll be like, okay, I guess I'll just go and run around town for a little bit. And then like the only thing you don't have, like your next main mission doesn't show up on your map until you beat like all the side quests in the area. And it's just kind of like, that's annoying. I don't really like that. I liked it in the first one where you could just go to main story and just have, and you could do the side quests if you want it. But other than that, game's a lot of fun. Having a blast with it. And I've been playing, I've been playing Bloodborne again because there's a whole lot of noobs out there to kill and a whole lot of noobs out there to help. So a little bit more of the latter than the former. I've been helping people more than killing. But I've been doing that and then playing, Fortnite. I downloaded Fortnite yesterday and jumped back into that. They added a new mode where it's like teams of 20. So it's like 5 teams of 20, like taking each other on. And I feel it's like less stressful than just a team of 5 or even a team of 2 or 1. So like you can go in there with like a team of 20 people and hang out, and you'll have better odds of surviving, and the loot, like the rarer loot, spawns faster, or is more likely to spawn. So you'll get a little bit better weapons to be running around and to have a better fighting chance. Other than that, that's nothing else new I've been playing. Corey, what have you been playing?
I haven't really been playing a lot in terms of just playing games for fun. I played a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege and Fortnite for squad goals. I've been playing, dude, Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know why I haven't been playing that game for a while. It's
awesome,
really
isn't
good.
it?
It's really, really, really good.
What's your favorite mode?
Terrorist Hunt's Terrorist Hunt's the best. Like as far as like someone who's not great with any of the specialists yet, and multiplayer not really being my thing at first, like co-op Terrorist Hunt is awesome. Plus it gives you a chance to learn what the different heroes do without having to like listen to whiny 13-year-olds talk about your mom. So
see, usually when I play it with Phillips and Dominic, and Justin, and we'll do like the team, the red versus blue, the 5-on-5, and so you got like a hostage situation where you have to defend and someone attacks, and then you switch it up, and that's usually a lot of fun. The only thing is, like, it sucks if you die right away. You're forced to sit there and watch the rest of the match. Like in Fortnite, you could just hit circle, go back to the main lobby, and jump into your next match. But since you're playing with friends, in a party, you have to like wait until the match is over, until they give you control back and you set up the next scene or whatever. But it's a good game. I highly recommend anyone playing it.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how it was at launch, but like it's growing on me. I want to keep playing it. I want to, like, tomorrow night. I don't really have anything to do, so I'm going to try to play a little bit of it just because I want to get better at it and see if like I'm going to be able to stick around for it. So other than that, I play a little bit of Fortnite. That game's fun too. I've never played with friends before, so like I played a little bit with Jesse the other day, and we were playing duos, which is really fun. So I've been playing that. Halo 4, working my way through that campaign with Edward and Jesse too for squad goals.
Nice.
Had a blast. Dude, the other night we started at like 10:30 and I was up till 3:00 in the morning playing through the campaign.
Jesus.
Halo
awesome.
Halo multiplayer like co-op campaign is so much fun. And I always forget how fun Halo is, because I always feel like every time Halo's brought up, I feel like there's been so much Halo, I'm just burnt out. But when you play with friends and you're playing on normal and just wrecking a bunch of aliens, it's just fun. It's just dumb fun. And so we've been playing through that together too. But what else have I been playing? I haven't really been playing much else, to be honest with you. Tetris, original Game Boy Tetris on my 3DS. I've been playing a lot recently, actually.
Nice.
Because like I
what do we say about supporting bad behavior, Corey?
I bought Tetris on 3DS 4 years ago.
I'm kidding,
man.
Dude. I'm kidding. Come here, baby.
Why don't you buy another Dark Souls something?
That was a low blow.
I mean, I would if it wasn't sold out. Thanks for that news, shithead. No.
Hey, I'm just a messenger, man. I was just reading Game Informer, IGN, GameSpot.
I can't fucking believe that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so
if it's only a single run, they're not bringing any more up. Fuck this. I'm done.
Don't worry, man. I'll find one for you.
He'll still buy one.
No, because I didn't buy that Dark Souls Collector's Edition. Like, I didn't.
You don't need it, though.
Well, yes, you're right. You're right.
All right, listen. If you stopped the addiction that's directly behind you, maybe I can understand pain.
Which one?
Are you talking the Dark Souls addiction or the vinyl addiction?
I mean,
the vinyl addiction. If he put a halt to that for a while, I could see him justifying getting the Dark Souls Collector's Edition. But because he can't stop buying that stuff behind him, It's just like you don't need it. You already have all the games. You're good.
I'm feeling a bit judged right now, Moose. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You know what? I told the most embarrassing story I've ever told ever, and I actually released it on the internet last week, so I'm not judging you.
Okay. Which
and
story?
B-sides. The B-sides story I told. Bad first date.
Oh,
date.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. That's what she said when she was done.
I'm done. 36 episodes, I'm done.
I'm just laughing at like Moose is like, like
I know.
that was so good.
But anyways.
Asshole.
Dude, I got my supervisor really good at work today. So he has a Sprint phone and has like no fucking service.
Yeah, because Sprint sucks
in the office. So another coworker and our director were talking about ESPN being blocked on the websites, and because we can't use the company Wi-Fi, so you either use your phone or you use like the website on. And so like my supervisor's like, yeah, he's like, it was giving me error message when I was trying to buy my tickets, and I was like, well, why didn't you just use your phone to buy your tickets? And I was like, oh, because your phone doesn't work here. And he just like glared at me, and he's like, damn. He's like, you're just gonna come over here and cut my arm off, aren't you? I was like, well,
don't hand me a knife and expect me not to use it, sir.
Right, exactly.
Productivity, man.
Nice.
Yeah. That was a good time.
But that's pretty much all I've been playing. My goal this week is to find a day to just play a game for me. And I think I'm going to take a couple shows off this week. It's just I need some me time. And not that like I don't enjoy podcasting, but you know, when you're doing video for all the shows on the thing, it's just like I just need like
it's a lot.
I just need like 2 or 3 days to just.
You need some time to shut down the engines, recharge the batteries, and get yourself back to zero.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got to find a game to play though, because I haven't really been into anything really. So
Gravity Rush.
I'll find something. Maybe I'll start Persona this week.
There you go. Ooh, 5.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah.
I know 1/3 of this podcasting group is supportive of that. Not that I'm not supportive, but I haven't played it, so I know Matt's excited about it. So.
Plus, it's a game I can play remote play on my laptop if I'm in the other room, because it's JRPG. I don't need it to be like Call of Duty Twitch controls or anything. So
right.
So yeah.
Is it not
my PlayStation TV in the bedroom?
There you go.
I have one of those for some reason.
Is it not turn-based as well?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's not like you need like instant reaction. Like,
yeah,
Like I think there are certain things you can. There are certain prompts you can use that are instant reaction. If I remember correctly, and I might be wrong.
Wrong.
Probably.
I was gonna say probably are.
There are moments in the combat where like if an enemy is attacking you, you can like button prompt to like deflect it or block it or something. For some reason it's been long enough that I don't remember. I need to get back to that game. But I think there's that. But like that's maybe 1/50th of the combat that you'll play in that game overall. So it's not like it's not like it won't kill you. But
it'll be nice. It's not like a shooter. It's not a action game. I mean, it is action, but it's a JRPG. But still, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's like a little off the beaten path for you, something different, something to cleanse your palate.
Yeah,
it's not Zelda. So
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about starting over in Zelda recently, but then I'm like, I already put 220 hours into it. I'm not going to do it. It's going to be a while before I do that again.
Yeah.
But master mode was intriguing me. So, yeah, that's it though. Matt, what are you playing?
Interesting that you brought up Zelda. I've been playing Zelda. A lot of it.
Yes.
He's got that bug like I did.
Well, I in the Facebook chat with Matt Phillips earlier this week, I said that I have to stop playing it.
I agree with his statement though.
Oh yeah, the play what you love. Monster Hunter is going to be
no,
there.
not necessarily that. Just you won't. Nothing else will be as enjoyable until you get the bug out of you.
Mm-hmm.
That was his other statement. But yes, also play what you love. So if you're enjoying Zelda, fucking play it now and have fun, because it's better to be in an instance where you're like enjoying what you're playing rather and also play something else rather than be like, I don't want to play anything.
Yeah, just bashing your head against the wall. Like,
yeah. Like I'm not enjoying anything I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, see, and I also think like Zelda, for being as sprawling and big as that game actually is, it's super easy to play in small chunks. Like I took it, I've been playing it at work, like, and I think on the last NGP that I was in the chat for, I said that I was doing bowling at Pondo's Lodge. And I wasn't even doing it. I wasn't doing it to farm rupees. I was doing it because I missed it my first time out.
Yeah.
Like I literally I remember paragliding off that tower over Pondo's Lodge and never actually getting back to it. But when I found the bowling, I was like, huh, this is kind of fun. And then I actually, there's a certain joy that I get from just doing that.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it really is.
Like you were saying, like you're just sitting there, like I'll just load up and I'll go and I'll bowl. Mm-hmm. One, because I want the rupees, but two, just because it's just like you're just bowling. Yeah. You're just like sitting there relaxing. You can kind of like you have something to like occupy my anxiety while I just let my brain kind of like think and do its own thing. So,
plus, I love Pondo's dialogue. His dialogue's pretty.
And then there's a way to do it where like it's online, like because it's a 20 rupee investment, and then if you knock down all of the pins, you get 300 rupees. So you get 280 rupees. That's a pretty good return on investment. Especially, since like rupees are a dime. It's not necessarily all over the place, but you can find 20 and then just sit there and farm Pondo's Lodge until you get the money you need and come back later. But,
right.
Yeah. I don't. My personal opinion, I don't think that game is. I think it's large, but I find it to be quite empty.
It is. But I think
like
that
I feel like Skyrim, for how old it is way more densely packed than Breath of the Wild is. Like I don't see myself going off and finding the cave and exploring it. Like I'm just following like the path of the main story of the game, maybe a side quest here or there, and like that's it. Like I don't find myself going and being like, oh hey, here's a cave. What's this cave for? Oh hey, here's like a dude's cave where he's like doing experiments on people and stuff. I gotta stop him. You know what I mean? Or an ancient evil or something like that. Like it's just, I feel that's their next step. If they really want to expand on Zelda, like bring storytelling to a level where it's like, okay, here's all the other shit that goes on inside, like some quests or some, crazy caves that, Ganon's, minions have found or formed. Or, you know what I mean? Like, here's some other evil. that have created like downsides for the civilization inside that world.
And yeah, and
like I was saying, as soon as I beat the game, I had no drive to go back to Core Exceeds. I had no fucking nothing else.
Yeah, and I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that either, at least not yet. I once said I would do the Coroxies. Now I'm kind of like, do I really want to? I'm still on the fence about it, but I do like just wandering around that world. And I did the one thing that I sort of did, just sort of a challenge to myself is I went and I did all the towers without upgrading any hearts. So I had I was doing shrines as I found them, like by towns or stables or whatever. And then I got to where I had 2 full wheels of stamina just wandering. But I didn't upgrade any hearts. I made elixirs when I needed to worry about like cold or heat or whatever.
Right.
And I just climbed the towers. I just worked my way around all the enemies. I had to stealth a lot of that, which was actually kind of fun. Because there are a couple of times where you have a bunch of high-powered moblins after you, and they don't like to fuck around. Nope. They're easier to beat than the Lionels, for sure. But I thought that was a cool little challenge. I don't know, what else I can really make a game of in that. I don't for some reason I did not remember the flying dragon things from my first playthrough. I probably saw them and just really paid them no mind because they weren't fucking with me.
Right.
But I saw them and I see them now. I'm like, I want to fight these guys. So I might just try and fight them. At some point. But I think it's been it's a cool little experience. Like I think getting back to what I was saying, it's a very big game, but you can play it in small spurts where you can walk to a shrine. You could bowl a couple rounds of bowling. I found the Goron who's doing golf in one of the canyons.
I didn't know there was golf, so that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's actually pretty poorly designed. I don't like it at all. Okay. I feel like you have to use the stasis mechanic to do it, and I don't see a point in doing it when you're going to have like 3 weapons just be destroyed in the process. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll do the one hole and just be done.
Yeah.
I did I did find the Terrytown quest. I did complete it. That was a cool time.
Yeah, the Terrytown quest is a lot of fun, especially since you can buy the Hylian shield if you ever need to from the secret merchant.
Yeah, I did not know about that until I just sort of looked into it, and I don't have that merchant there yet. I don't know how to get him there, or does he just show up at a certain point?
And you've done the marriage and the wedding and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you should be there, as far as I know.
Huh. Are you talking? Wait, which merchant are you talking about?
The one that's in Terrytown.
The one that's in Terrytown and sits on top of the house and sells the clothes. He'll sell you the sets, and then he also sells the Hylian shield. I didn't think you had to do anything special to get him.
You don't. He's only there in the mornings.
Okay, well then that answers
that. Okay.
See, I didn't know that. I guess every time I happened to go back was morning. So
yeah, he's only there. I think he's only there from 8 to 1.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah, I was gonna say he's not you need to do this in addition to the quest to get him there. He just shows up as soon as you complete the town. As soon as you complete the whole Terrytown quest, he's there.
Because the dark, the guy that you trade in monster parts for monster money or whatever, he only shows up at night.
Yeah. So then he must. Yeah, he's the opposite of him.
Yeah.
He's a daytime motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love Terrytown though because it's such an easy way to go and stock up on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy. So that quest was so much fun. I remember I spent a whole probably 3 or 4 days grinding that quest out.
I enjoyed it too. It was a good time.
Yeah. After, because like I heard that you could like buy the house, and then I went over there and finished the house. I'm like, well, this is done. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, maybe you should go to this area on the map. And I was like, oh, okay, because the construction worker goes over there, and then you just start doing that stuff. And
he goes over there like right after, I think around the time you buy the house.
The dialogue in that quest is actually pretty good too.
Yeah.
Carson, we're moving. I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah. That's a good time. I was like, how do I finish this? Like your house, like the house you buy in the other town. I'm just like, I guess I just keep buying stuff until they're done making things for me. So so that was cool.
Yeah. That's a great quest. That's one of the best quests in that entire game. And I think it's just because like there's so much to it, and it feels like a real kind of video game quest almost.
Yeah. Well, it feels like a thing where you actually affect it too.
Yeah. So
plus, I think Terrytown looks cool. I like those square.
I like location is pretty cool too.
Those little square houses, they're all right.
I'd
get one of those.
And then you have like the Great Ferry right there, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't found that one yet. I'll look for it.
So like when you go to Terrytown, she's like right on that outside rim around that little pond area.
Yeah, you'll see her big flower.
Yeah, you'll see like a little like flower garnish type. That's a fairy. It's like you can go to her and pay. Corey, have you found fairies in the only location I can seem to capture fairies is the first Great Fairy that you go to in the first town.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. Like that's the only one I see fairies when I come upon it. Every other one that I've gone to, whether it be like just happen upon it or I'll teleport to a shrine near it and walk to it, none of them have fairies just like floating around where you can capture them. Or maybe there's like a quota that you have to have in your inventory and they won't spawn until you're like below that quota, because I think I have like 5 or something.
Yeah, I know the one in Kakariko Village.
Have y'all been able to find them at multiple locations?
I'm pretty sure honestly, I've found 1 or 2 at
others. You're like going all robot on me. Or I might be going robot.
Yeah, you sound normal to me, Matt. I don't know. Moose is kind of frozen.
Yeah, Moose is cutting in and out. Well, we'll press on. If it gets
power through it.
It might be because I was trying to run the YouTube chat in the background too.
Okay.
I just closed that out.
I found fairies at other locations, but I noticed like I didn't see the same amount as I did in Kakariko the first time, because that was the only time I went there.
Yeah.
And I've also found that like if you don't have fairies, you can chop grass and find them a lot easier. But if you have some, you can't. So I'm thinking it has to be a quota system.
Yeah. A little bit of column A and column B.
Which whatever. That's fine because
I don't. I was just like, it'd be cool to find them like somewhere else,
but like I've noticed I didn't know about the hardy durian until you mentioned it. So
that shit'll save your life, bro.
I went looking for that, and I'm like, man, you do not need hearts in this game.
No, you don't, because like you just like
cook 5 of those, and you have like 30 of them.
I'll send you the screenshot I sent a buddy of mine. Like I went on the map, and there's certain places you can farm it, and every tree that I got some out of, I put a star on. Yeah. So like I'll zoom in and send you some pictures so that you can see it. Like
I'm gonna save you the effort. I already did it.
Okay. All right.
I found that.
You're just as anal as I am.
And I found the mighty bananas, which I didn't really know about.
Mighty bananas are cool. So that's basically what I used to beat Ganon. I used the durian, and then I used the mighty bananas to up my attack. Yeah, and you're golden.
I'm like, man, this makes Lionel. They made Lionel's like no problem
whatsoever. Oh yeah, totally.
Like, oh, you could dance around all you want. Banana.
And now.
Yeah. Yeah. You upgrade the stasis and you can freeze the enemies. Oh.
Yeah, the Lionels only freeze for like 2 seconds, but it's still good.
Oh, they
enough.
all only freeze.
Yeah, it's still good enough to get a couple of hits.
If you can get some hits in with a good weapon, golden.
Or if you could time it to where it unfreezes and you can hit them in the face and stun them, and then climb up on their back. Like if you could work out like a good system doing that, you're good. Because if you climb up on their back and hit them like you're riding them like a horse, like that's a good way to do some damage without taking damage.
Can you ride a Lionel for very long? Has anyone cracked that code?
You mean as in like ride it
like a horse
and it's unprovoked? No, I don't think you can. Like
okay,
I mean hostile.
I assume that,
yeah,
but I saw my first time through when I was fighting a Lionel, I got up on their backs and was actually riding. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I got enough hearts where I could do this. And
I think the only way that you could possibly do it without them getting hostile the least amount of time, like they're non-hostile the longest, is if you wore their mask. Like from the DLC, you can get a Lionel mask. But even when you get up close to them, they immediately are like, "Yeah, something's wrong with you. Like something's up with you.
You only got
what's your
2
name?
legs. I got 4.
What's your name? You know, they're like,
what's your badge number?
Yeah. What's your badge number? Your ID, and who's your immediate supervisor? Who's your immediate supervisor? Huh?
We're all good here. Situation normal.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your identification number?
I found like using because and that's where I was saying like farming the weapons later on in the game pretty much makes like needing to get correct seeds for slots useless, because once the blood moon comes, you go farm like 2 of them and you'll get really good weapons. I have a 3-time bow from one of them. I have a 5-time bow from the other, and then all the ancient gear is really good too. So you just go to all the feats of strength, as you know, Costanza's dad likes to call them.
I haven't done any of them.
They're pretty easy. They're not as easy as the Guardians that are out roaming the world, because with them you can do a shield block, and if you time the shield block just right, your shield doesn't take any damage and it bounces the laser right back at them. And the ones that are on the ground that have no mobility, it's 1 hit, 1 kill. But then the other ones are like 3 hits, and it's actually it's like once you get it down, you don't go through any shields. But then like you could buy the ancient shield from the one research center,
Robbie or whatever his name is.
Takes so much damage, and even if you don't parry correctly, it'll still bounce the beam off of you. Like you'll take a little bit of damage, but it'll bounce some of the beam off you and it'll go somewhere else. So you don't take all the damage. You maybe take like 25%, 30% of the damage. So it's definitely a really good shield to have, and it can take a lot of hits. So I highly recommend looking into getting that. But going and farming all the strongest strength challenges, like the enemies, it's just like a Dark Souls boss. You just sit in there, spin around them, whittle them down, you know, and then once you kill them,
because they're all mini guardians, they're not tough,
right? They just have high health, and then you'll get like a spear, battle axe, a one-handed sword, or a shield, and those shields in of themselves are really good too. It's like if you can't afford the one you get at the research center, you just farm those, you'll get some really good shields and some. So I carry. Now
this is something I never tried. Can you go back to those shrines and just keep doing them?
Yep. Every blood moon you can refarm them. You can redo that challenge. I mean, obviously, if you pick up what's in, that's why I'm saying it's useless to do the Korok seeds to expand my inventory, because if I need weapons, by the time I run out of a weapon or I get down to 1 or 2 weapons, the blood moon's already occurred, and I can go right back to those shrines and just farm the weapons. And so what I usually do is like I'll check out like what they have, because like you'll get a weapon that's like, okay, this one is high durability or this one's high attack. And so what I'll do is I'll see what weapons it's using. So like if I know I've dealt some damage with like the one-handed sword and it has a one-handed sword, I'll use the one-handed sword to beat it, because I can replace it if it breaks with the sword that it drops.
Yeah.
Or I'll just see, like I'll beat it, and if I don't break it, I'll just drop the sword and see which one is better and pick up the better one and be on my way. Yeah. So it's just like I said, as soon as I beat the game, I was like, 46 Korok seeds, I'm good to go. Solid. Mm-hmm. I don't need any more than that. So, but yeah, you can refarm those guys as much as you want. So.
Yeah, I think I will. Well, now I didn't know that. I think I'm closer to doing all. I'm leaning more towards doing all the shrines for sure than all the Korok seeds. Call me a scrub all you want, Corey. Don't care.
What I would also do is you could go get the Hylian shield. If you've done Terrytown, you can either do the money to buy it, or you could actually go get the free version. That takes a crap ton of damage. I think the one guy said it takes like 40 or 50 shots, direct shots that you don't block from a Guardian before it breaks. So like it takes a crap ton of damage before it breaks. So that's another shield that you could use in trying to do the challenges to get the better weapons. And then I also like those the ancient weapons just because they're shock resistance. So like if you're running around and you're in enemies and a thunderstorm happens upon you, you could use like that shield and that one-handed sword, and you won't get like lightning striking you. Obviously, I mean, if you have like a bow, like I was using the ancient bow, which is pretty cool. But if you're using like a metal bow, you'll still get struck. But you can at least swap out. You can at least have a sword and a shield, or like a two-handed weapon. Like I really enjoyed using the two-handed axe.
I really hope that this game proves to be like a certain influence on the open world style of game. Mainly because the obvious parallels with Far Cry 2 are there, and they're accurate and they're correct. But like I feel like the way this game piles system on top of system before you even get to story or combat or anything, that's all to one side. But the fact that you can use the world as a tool, like that's it's not new, but at the same time, it's not used often. Yeah. And I really hope that someone one of the big guys, like a Bethesda or even like maybe a Far Cry went back to it in the way that it did with 2. Like get Clint Hawking back, Ubisoft. It'll be fine. I promise.
What I would love to see people ape from it the most is the stamina system and climbing, swimming, I'd love to see that truly. Like you could climb anything. You can climb anything.
The one thing I hope they take too, or at least like the whole time I was playing Horizon, for example, the one thing, and I thought it was going to be the climbing, which it was, but the one thing when you get up really high, just the paraglider, man.
Yes,
that thing is so convenient, and you just kind of take it for granted. In Zelda, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to jump off this ledge and go over here. But then, when I played Horizon afterwards, I got up real high. I'm like, oh, I have to climb down now.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing, like on top of that, I like that the fast travel system doesn't take you where you want to go.
Yeah, it's near. Like
it takes you
a shrine.
Like you have to go to a shrine. You have to walk to where you like. It's not just, hey, I'm going to get there instantly. Like, no, if there's something between you and the fast travel point, you still have to deal with it. Like that's open world games.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the Switch being an underpowered system. Like they set a marker for open world games that hasn't really been done. I mean, and I remember early in 2017, like Moose and I, and I mean, Corey to a significantly lesser extent because he got to Horizon late. We were saying, wow, this is a new standard bearer for open RPGs. But then when you think about Zelda and analyze what it actually did, like that game did stuff that hadn't really been done. Nintendo pulled one out in a great way. But so
man, any other year though, Horizon would have been just like
it would have been walking to gaming.
Yeah, it would have been a clean house.
Like, I mean, and it's funny, like, you know, and I know Corey and I listen to Giant Bomb's content, and I know plenty of others do as well because they are one of the most popular video game podcasts on the internet, if they're not the most.
I watched Jeff Gerstmann play Toe Jam and Earl today. That was fun.
That's a good time. I've watched him play that before. That game's so good. But early in the year, they were like, man, Horizon, like this is really important. And then, you know, then Zelda comes out, like, wow, Zelda? And like towards the end of the year, Horizon didn't even make the top 10. Now, does that mean it's not one of the 10 best games of the year? No, but it's like those are a group of people that are pretty respected and tend to know what they're talking about. Having followed them for as long as I have, Horizon was in my top 10, might not have been theirs, but whatever. Like, that's saying something. That's something, you know, like Horizon could not make the list. Really is.
Yeah.
Pour one
will
out
be
for
great.
Horizon. Mm-hmm.
I need to dive into that DLC. I still haven't played it.
Ditto. I still need to do the ultra hard. I need 100% that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's feasible. It's just I've got challenge going on. I've already sat here and been like, I'll play that game in 2019. I want to play this one. Like, I'm already making my list of games. Not like a challenge, but just like, I want to play this and play as much as I can before I'm just like, I tap out. You know what I mean? Or if I finish it, I finish it. So, platinuming that, or I mean, finishing 100%ing the rest of it. The rest, you know, the new trophies they dropped with the new game mode, and then also the DLC will be something I will do in 2019. So,
yeah.
Anyways. All right. Everybody's playing something, which is nice. Yeah. Zelda's always good. That was good stuff. Yeah.
But like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know, I need to play Monster Hunter.
No, you don't.
No, I actually do.
Well, you do because you invested in it. So
I invested in it, but like, it's one of those things that like I've wanted to try for so long, but nothing has really lined up right. And you know, it could be I'm in a similar situation to you guys, where I try it and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but kind of out. I don't think I will be in the situation that Marshall is in, where he posted like a why I don't like Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm not going to. I will not knock him. I mean, I read his piece, and it's well written as hell.
Right.
You know,
no, he does write it well. So.
Cheers, Jason. But like, you know, I have to try it for myself, and like, that's, you know, that's
what I would do is I just message Jose and Adnel and be like, hey guys, let's get on and let's do some early game stuff. Because they posted something like yesterday. They were like, hey, you know, I think Jose posted and followed the ground. He's like, Adnel and I are in just doing low level stuff, helping people. If you want help, let us know. You know, and they were that was just a general post to like anybody who wouldn't play the game. So like, that's pretty cool. I like that about that community too. Like they had the Adopt a Hunter, like where like veterans were like, hey, here's our social group, and somebody will mentor you on like how to be a good hunter. And I think that's actually cool. Like you don't really see a lot of communities doing that.
Yeah, so, I mean that's kind of what we do with Bloodborne and Souls games.
Yeah, that's true.
We try. We're not great at it because we have lives, but you know.
But
lives. Ha!
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have.
What are those?
And I also, I mean, like I will probably tap both of them at some point and say, "Hey, I'm struggling here," but I also kind of want to try it myself and see. Okay, let's walk at this first thing, you know, a couple of times and see if I can beat it. And if I beat it, fine. Walk to the next thing, see if I can beat it. And then if I find myself beating my head against it, going, what the hell's going on here? Then I'll be like, okay, someone needs to teach Noob Sauce the ropes here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we don't really have a topic for this. We spent a long time on what we're playing. Moose brought to my attention a Eurogamer article about Bluepoint. They've confirmed their next project in the wake of the stunning Shadow of the Colossus remake for PlayStation 4. They have confirmed that their next project is a remake and that it's bigger than Shadow of the Colossus.
And people will be pretty excited about it once they find out about it. Which
that statement right there, that's sales pitch.
Yeah, right. No. Yeah, that's
for all we know, it could be Spyro. It could be.
Nah.
Because here's the thing. If I'm doing anything creative, I'm gonna say yeah, and I'm trying to get people to buy it. I'm gonna say yeah, this is big. This is important. This is really good. It's gonna be bigger than anything I've ever done because I've never done nothing.
That's your own fault.
And be excited, So yeah, you should just be excited. Like I'm Square Enix at E3 or at PSX. Be excited for E3. So,
which is like we only have GDC coming up later this year, which
GDC already happened.
I thought it was like
that's like the first thing of the year.
No. GDC is in late March.
Oh no, I'm thinking of CES. Too many actors.
Yeah, you're thinking of CES. GDC is like the 20 whatever. It's in the 20s, so it's later. It's later this month. You don't see like a lot of AAA announcements there, but you'll get like a lot of, hey, my favorite indie is now doing this, or hey, their next game got picked up and is being published by so and so.
Yeah,
might get a couple release dates. Hell, that's where I first heard about Guacamelee 2, and so when they finally showed Guacamelee 2, I wasn't surprised because I knew it was coming. But so GDC's coming. Shortly after GDC in April, which my birthday weekend, is PAX, and then we'll have like 2 months, May, June, and then in June is E3. So we got a good exciting first 6 months of the year. So I think their game will be announced at E3. I think Bluepoint's game will be announced, and if it's not E3, it'll definitely be PSX. So
yeah. I mean,
especially if it's a situation where it's a Sony exclusive.
Yeah,
and it probably will be because they're like in bed together now, which is fine. Because Bluepoint does awesome work for them. They did the remaster of Gravity Rush. They did the Nathan Drake collection. So I feel like they're just moving in a direction to be like, Sony's quote unquote remaster company. Instead of Sony having to do it themselves, they can pay Bluepoint to do it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a role in this industry that is, severely overlooked.
Right.
I'm not going to take the tact often taken by Greg Miller that old game's old, but like the one thing that it's taken the game industry as long, if not longer, than film to realize that preservation is an aspect.
Right.
Like,
and it's preserved.
Yeah, nothing's preserved well, and I think even film, like they often say like there's maybe 10% of the first 50 years of cinema preserved. Now, when you think of the 10% that's there, there's some good stuff there, but then you're thinking there's all that other stuff. Like if you remember the Martin Scorsese movie Hugo, it focuses around a director named Georges Méliès, who did, if you remember the Smashing Pumpkins video, Tonight, that entire video is a ripoff of a Georges Méliès movie called Voyage to the Moon.
Yeah, I remember I remember the snippets of the old movie. Yeah.
And anyway, like that guy made, I know he made more than 50 films, and maybe 4 of them still exist.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which sucks. Like,
there's a one of the coolest things about going to App State in Boone, North Carolina, was there was a guy who has this insane movie collection, like all these old films, and he stores them in a coal mine.
You have to.
Yeah, and what he did he went into a partnership with App, and he was like, if we go in together and you build like a really kick-ass theater, I'll show my films for free. He's like, if you provide a place for me to show my films, like, I will give you access to them. So, like, I mean, there's some film classes. I took a film class, and like a lot of it, you get extra credit by going and watching the movies. It's like you pay nothing to go sit there and watch like really cool old movies. And so that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool. But
and I like the fact that Bluepoint has hit a bunch of remasters out of the park. I mean, I think they did Shadow of the Colossus the first time around, and it was a good remaster. Yes. The Platinum sucked. It glitched out on me. I don't hold that against them.
Right.
But
they also did, I think their first game where it was kind of like hitting their stride was they did the 360 version of Titanfall. And I think that was them really, really stretching their muscles. Like,
that was a great version of Titanfall, because like I didn't have an Xbox One yet, and I really wanted to play Titanfall, so I got it on Xbox 360, and it was really good.
That's good to know. I mean, I almost bought it. I think I just waited. I don't know why I didn't buy Titanfall on a. I think it was because didn't it come out at like, yeah, it came out around the time where I was just like, I'm not buying an Xbox because of their whole E3 stuff, whatever. But I was just like, no, I'm not going to buy that game and whatever. But I heard it was a really good version, and I'm glad it was good because it proved that they could, that they could do a really good job of doing either a port or a remaster. And like you said, Matt, that's not, that's, I think, a need that's being like sought after more and more as the generations go on. From what I think, the guy that does all the Bloodborne and Dark Souls videos, Vadi Vidya, in his video, he was saying that the guys that are doing the Switch version of Dark Souls are the same guys that did the Dragon Dogma remaster for current gen. So I mean, I
think they're the same one doing I think they're running the entire remaster.
No, I could have swore like the main consoles, like the Xbox and the PS4, was actually in-house from software.
Oh, okay.
I have to double check that.
That's fine.
And then they shopped out the Switch. But I mean, I could be wrong on that.
The Switch version is being done by the team that did LA Noire for Xbox One and PS4.
Maybe it was them. I mean, they might have been the team that did the Dragon Dogma too as well. But it's just something that's like, okay, we want a quality developer to do this, but we can't do it in house because we have to move on to something else. And I feel like Bluepoint is helping Sony, so they're going to kind of be like Insomniac Games for a while, for however long the relationship lasts. And not that Insomniac Games relationship soured, but they made Sunset Overdrive for the Xbox. So then they did Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation. Now they're doing the Spider-Man game, but I think like for Sony to be able to be like, we want to remaster this game. We don't have any in-house resources. What do you guys feel about this? You know what I mean? And then just, Bluepoint coming in, we're doing Shadow of the Colossus. That's, and to have it come out and still review just as well, if not better than the original, is a huge feather in your cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. And I think they could totally do Demon's Souls. Like I totally think they could do it. Like we were talking before we started the show. Studio Japan helped out a little bit with Bloodborne. They worked with Bluepoint on Shadow of the Colossus. So Studio Japan comes in a little bit on Demon Souls to help them get the game mechanics, like the third person, the targeting, and make sure everything flows like Demon Souls should, instead of just being like, here's a game, make it work. And then targeting doesn't work so well. Blocking is kind of a hit or miss, like try and help them refine it. I think they could, this is one they can hit even further out of the park than Shadow of the Colossus.
I mean, I feel like the possibilities for Demon Souls are double-edged. Those of us that fell in love with that game, you have the most to lose from.
That's true.
Whereas those that are like, oh, well, I really like Dark Souls, and I like Dark Souls 2, I like Dark Souls 3, I like Bloodborne. I never played Demon Souls. That, you don't have to win them to a degree, because I feel like getting them to purchase is the victory.
Yeah.
Because hey, it's a new system, PS4, Demon Souls PS4. They'll probably buy it because they like Souls games, and that is the first one. There are just those folks. But if you wanted the long-term support, you have to, I'm probably the guy you have to win. Someone who holds that as one of his 10 favorite games of all time. Ahmed is probably another one where he's played that more times than Moose has played Bloodborne, by a long shot.
Yeah, but still.
And you have to. It has to feel the same. Now, granted, I've also heard Ahmed say some things that I wish they would remaster Demon Souls and do the area that's not there. And I'm like, okay, I agree with you, but that's a difficult ask at this point. They've done 4 other games that are basically like this, and having them add the extra area that is supposed to be there, that's a bridge too far. And then there's also been people who have gone into the PS3 disc and found unused stuff to the multitude, very much like they did for Bloodborne. And I feel like asking a remaster studio to add that in retroactively is a shaky proposition at best. But if and then that all hinges on whether or not this is actually Demon Souls. If it is, thank fuck. If it's not, I hope what they're making is what they're touting, because if it's not, I don't like that.
It's almost to the point of what could it be? Because like Corey was saying, servers are shut down for Demon Souls.
Yeah.
You've got the Dark Souls remaster coming out. What? I'm not saying that Sony doesn't have some big IPs that they could have them remastered, but it's almost like what hasn't been remastered, or what is not moving in a new direction. So, for example, God of War. God of War, a new game comes out next month, and do you really need God of War remastered in this gen's? It's almost like it's your bet, your safest bet is to say it is a game that would be lost for the ages if it wasn't remastered. And I'm not saying it would be the IP as well. So I feel like that's what makes Demon's Souls the shoe-in, because if they didn't remaster that, it's lost to the PlayStation 3 platform because it wasn't out on PC, and I'm not saying that they're not going to make a new one, but that's just not in the cards right now. Because if you wanted to play Dark Souls, you can play Dark Souls on your PS3, you can play it on your PC, you can play the remaster when it comes out, or you could say, you know what? I want a refined version of that. I'll play Dark Souls 2 on my PS4, or I'll even play Dark Souls 3. And if I want an extremely speedy version with a twist, I'll play Bloodborne, which is free with PlayStation Plus right now. And it's just insanity. So I think for Sony, they've redone whatchamacallit. They've redone Ratchet and Clank got a new version. So they got that going. That franchise has got new. I'll expect a sequel soon. Maybe it won't show this year, but it'll show next year because they've breathed. Insomniac Games did a great job of breathing life back into that series, and they made it relevant again. You know what I mean? Like I never really played Ratchet and Clank, but I felt even looking at the games when they were coming out in the later part of the series, I was like, that looks freaking dumb. Like I'm good. Like, I don't need to play that.
I mean, I'm just going to interrupt you just because of Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank and the Sly Cooper series specifically, like, they did character interaction really, really well. I mean, they were 3D platformers. I didn't think any of them stressed the platforming so much, but like in the Sly Cooper, you get great dialogue out of all the characters and all their interactions. It's almost kind of like the Goonies, where everybody's working together. In Ratchet and Clank, it's very Calvin and Hobbes, with Commander Quark thrown in because he's just stupidly hilarious. But also, like, Insomniac has, after every Ratchet and Clank game to come out since A Crack in Time, Insomniac has said, we're kind of done with Ratchet. Then Sony keeps getting them to bring one out. How? Yeah. I don't know. But like, I also think that Sony says, hey, we want another Ratchet and Clank game, but you do it however you like.
Well, yeah, and it also might be like, we need a staple IP to put out. You guys are the ones that worked on it, and we don't want to take that away from you. So just do another one. So
yeah.
But I think like they've done the Wipeout. They remastered Wipeout. I think Wipeout will come back. They'll do like a sequel or like a new reboot the series. They kind of rebooted Ratchet and Clank. So it's kind of like they're on the same boat. They're in the same boat that's tethered to the rest of the IPs, because they're in the boat that's like, we just remastered. Granted, Ratchet and Clank was like a remake of the first game, and kind of all thrown together.
Yeah, it
was still different enough. And then Wipeout was just a remastered. So they're like, okay, well, these are series that did pretty well. Now we can, hey, do we want to reboot them? Do we want to move forward with them? And then you have IPs like God of War, where they're like, we're completely redoing it. And then Uncharted 4, with the end of Uncharted 4, you could see them moving in kind of a different direction with that, like maybe give it some time off. And they've got Sucker Punch. They got Sucker Punch and Sony Bend coming out with new IPs to kind of give, hey, let's put the rookie in. Let's see what the rookie can do. You know what I mean? If we have to fall back on the star quarterback, we can. If not, we can let him rest. Oh, he's going to retire, and then his son's going to come play for us. We'll let that happen. We'll put the new guy in and let them play until this series, quote unquote, son is ready to step up. And if you've played Uncharted 4, you can totally see what I'm talking about. With where they can go with that. But I think a Demon Souls would be the next quote unquote remaster, for Sony, because they did Japan, and then Atlas did America, and Bandai did Europe. So it's like they kind of own it. They just probably had to do a deal with Bandai Namco and and Atlas to be like, hey, let us do the remaster in America, or there might even be a clause in the contract that they could do a remaster of their version in Japan and bring it anywhere they want to. So
yeah, I have a feeling that Sony they probably had to throw some money at Bandai and Atlas and say, hey, we want to do this, or maybe the hell? I don't know what's going on with my phone right now.
They also luck out. Like Sony, both of those studios do not have games that do not show up on the PlayStation 4, which has the largest install base. Right. So if they were to do it on a PS4, they would get a lot of people. You get a lot of people like myself who never played Demon's Souls, and who would say, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, I played Bloodborne. I've played Dark Souls 3. I played Dark Souls and some of Dark Souls 2. Yeah, hell yeah, I want Demon's Souls remade. If you remake that, that's a day one purchase. So you have some people that fell in love with the series through another. They came into it through another outlet, and they want more of it, and they're like, oh, I never played that game. I want to play that game. And then like they've got like the people who are the diehard fans. So there's definitely, I feel if they had to make a deal, there's definitely money on the table if it was to go through. There's more money to be had if it goes through than not, is what I'm kind of trying to say. Because because Atlas did Persona 5, and from my understanding, Persona 5 did really good on PS5 or PS4. Persona 5 did good on PS4. And then I think they're redoing the Catherine game. Is that all next gen, or is that just PS4?
It's all PS4. Well, Catherine was not an exclusive, so
right. But what I'm saying is,
Catherine is the
remaster. So I mean, but still, I mean, you're hitting a.
I think Sony saw an exclusive that. I mean, and Shuhei Yoshida has been on record several times saying, my one regret is saying that Demon's Souls sucked.
Yeah.
That has been his one. Because we should have, because he probably went to the wallets, we'll call them, and said, hey, we are in the lead by some distance. This game is a game we messed up not putting out on our own, so let's make good on it. And I'm pretty sure Bandai and Atlas were looking at this going, well, we're not going to do anything with it because Atlas just did Persona. They have Catherine coming up, so they're probably tied up, and as well as whatever weird RPGs they're also making.
Yeah,
them and NIS. And then Bandai said, well, we've got this Dragon Ball Z thing going on. We've got a whole bunch of other things.
Code Vein. They've got Code Vein coming.
Yeah, we've got Code Vein, which is basically Dark Souls with vampires.
And then they've got now is Bandai doing all of From Software's games? Because they've got the Armored Core game coming.
They publish From Software's.
That's what I'm saying. So they'll have the Armored Core game coming soon as well.
And that's also like from any other developer that they might work with. Like I don't know their network, so they might just say, okay, fine. You want to get this remastered? Fine, just give us a piece.
Yeah, give us
either give us 30%. Some upfront and royalties, or just royalties.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure Sony was like, yeah, we can do that. Especially to build on. I mean, and I really want to say Bloodborne being a PlayStation Plus game. It's all leading up to this. There's like news of the Demon's Souls server shutting down. There was news of, and
the community is still talking about it.
Right. And so I feel like, now
Bloodborne at the Game Awards too.
So they had a tease of something new. From Software had a tease of something new, which I do lean more towards a Tenchu game than anything else. But that's cool.
But that's getting this type of game back in the minds of people, because of
right.
And even if that's not Dark Souls or Demon's Souls or Bloodborne related, people are still thinking about From Software now. And that means you're thinking about From Software's games. And that means okay, well, if we're thinking about From Software's games, why don't we bring out Dark Souls or Demon Souls, right?
Mhm.
Right. What's the one game oh man, I'm looking at their games, and what's the one game I regret not playing? And it's Demon Souls. You know?
Plus,
I would bet.
if they just announce their new project, now granted, it might have been in development for a while, but if they're just announcing they're working on something new, it's 2018. Next year is the 10th anniversary of Demon Souls.
It is.
That would be a smart time to put it out.
February would be the 10th anniversary. So
I would want to say that I don't know remaster cycles, but I would have to say that they kind of were working on each project congruently, you know, like parallel, or they said, okay, there's some final polish we need to put on Shadow of the Colossus. Here's a core team of 5 or whatever, finish it up, and then everybody else will move to the next one to kind of get it going and get it kicked off. You know what I mean?
yeah,
like I can totally see them doing that.
Some people take anniversaries really seriously too, and other people just don't.
Right.
So, like,
right.
From Software seems like a company that treats their IP with care, and a big anniversary for something as big as Demon Souls and how they launched a phenomenon. Like, 10 years is
changed multiplayer gaming. Like,
well, here's the other thing. What better way for Shuhei to cash in on his, this is one of the things I wish I would have did, was publish Demon Souls in America. What better way to cash in on that than on the 10th anniversary? You know what I mean? What better way to make good on that and kind of redeem himself? Not that he needs to redeem himself. They've done some really great games. So he has.
I mean, but Shuhei's tenure at Sony has been glorious.
Oh yes, by far. He has had like a gazillion more wins than losses. Yeah. But just to come in and be like, I'm wiping the slate clean. There's nothing on the list that you could say that I could say personally that I regret not doing with Sony. Because here's the remaster. It's the 10-year anniversary. I'm making good on my statement that it's that I regretted it. And just dropping it and doing fucking mic drop. You know what I mean? Just that would be freaking awesome. And especially if they could get it to be an exclusive.
It will be an exclusive, no doubt. No doubt. Like that if they change that to multi-platform, I don't really know the repercussions with that, but I feel like since it was already a Sony exclusive, it would definitely remain a Sony exclusive. I mean, it's not like Shadow of the Colossus is out on all platforms.
That's true.
Okay, so we've been going a while.
Yeah.
What do you say we do 20 questions?
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a big old plan.
Corey's been bored.
I feel like we haven't heard Corey talk at all.
I know, because we've been mainly talking. So
there were things I was going to say, but you guys just kept going, and I missed my window. So
what did you want to say? Anything? You remember any of it?
No, I don't remember anymore.
Buddy, you just got to come through like the
just say
come and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to break up the flow, man. There was a good flow going. I was waiting for my window, and it just kept flowing on. I was just like, windows closed.
Yeah, it's like peristalsis pushing shit out of butthole. It just keeps going.
Oh.
Sometimes you just have to jump on one of those nuts and ride.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so we are now into the section of the show we call 20 questions. This is
what is 20 questions, Matt?
This is where one of us has a game in their head, and the other two have to ask a series of 20 yes or no questions to try and guess that game. Now, it is my game this week. I have my game. It is, just kidding. Whichever one of you wants to go first, go right ahead. I'm gonna start the timer. Tell me.
I'll keep count. Okay. I'll go first. Let me know when the timer starts.
Started.
Was the game released before January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Okay. Initially released, I meant.
Yes, initially released.
Okay. All We always know that's the question, but I just wanted to make sure it was stated and you weren't just saying yes to it was released before. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, the only person who ever doesn't answer it with initial is Corey. So, okay,
Hey man, I'm just answering the questions as you ask them.
Corey, your timer is started.
Is this a multiplayer game?
No.
Do you play it as a human?
Yes. Corey.
Did this game come out after 1990?
Yes.
Okay.
Moose.
Does this game have RPG elements?
No.
Okay, so that's 5.
2 minutes is starting now, gentlemen.
Okay. So
And just because he likes to play along at home, Andy, if you have any guesses, feel free to DM me.
Put it in the chat.
So we've got before 2000. So initially
No multiplayer.
No multiplayer. Plays a human. No RPG elements. So
Came out after 1990.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking shooter. Could be missed as in one of those games where it's like a puzzle game, like what they call walking sim nowadays. Kind of could be that.
Do we want to narrow down genre and then console, I guess?
We could do genre. Like I could work genre and is there melee combat? Is there shooting? Like I can work on
1 minute left, gentlemen.
like that part of it, and you can work on the consoles if you want. Like I could work on gameplay and style and like perspective questions if you want to do like, hey, was this a such and such game? I mean, I don't know. It's however you want to go about it. You're the boss. You tell me what to do.
Yeah, I don't tell anybody what to do. I just enjoy hanging out with my friends 75 times a week.
30 seconds, gentlemen.
I think we're ready. Are you ready, Moose?
Yeah, it is your guess. So.
Yeah. Okay, so no RPG elements. Did this game appear on multiple platforms?
Yes.
Multi-platform game. Okay.
Does this game have melee combat?
I actually don't remember. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
My initial reaction is no.
Okay.
But I'm gonna double check.
All right. That'll buy some time.
Let's see. Could be an adventure game.
No, it does not.
Does not have melee combat.
Okay, it's my turn again, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is this no, I'm going to ask this first. Are there puzzles in this game?
Yes.
Okay. What if it's like Secret of Monkey Island or something?
That would be funny.
Is there combat in that game though?
No, not that
I don't know. I don't remember.
Is there shooting in the game?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Shooting. My turn.
Yes.
Has it been remastered in the last 2 generations of consoles? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So it has.
Ooh. Okay, so that's 10.
I'm gonna start the 2 minute timer now.
Okay. It was on multiple platforms.
It's been remastered.
Does not have melee, but has shooting. It has been remastered. Oh, RPG. Just got shooting. So it makes me think of a shooter.
No
It's
multiplayer though.
human. There's no multiplayer. Well, it was a time.
I know there was a time when shooters
Minute
were
and a half.
multiplayer.
It was a time when shooters were not multiplayer.
Yeah. We haven't asked if it's first person or third person.
Which is what I was going to get to. I was going to be like, is it first person?
Yeah, we haven't
answered that question.
We haven't really narrowed down generation yet.
We haven't narrowed down. I mean, it could be a side scroller.
Yeah, 2D or 3D.
Where they're like
1 minute.
It could have been puzzles and side scrollers.
Yeah. Were there puzzles in like Doom or Duke Nukem 3D or?
Not that I know of. Okay. I don't remember those games too much. Like I played Doom 2 on my Mac and stuff like that. So like I'm familiar with some of the Doom stuff. And if the second one's anything like the others, there wasn't a lot of puzzle.
30 seconds.
Like you had to get key cards and stuff like that, but it wasn't like you know, put this box on top of this, you know, to make this happen. All right, so I'm up first, and I'm gonna ask first person. What is first person?
Okay.
All right, and then we can kind of bounce off each other and go from there.
Okay.
So we're ready to start the timer. You don't even have to ask.
Because you're right on time.
All right. Is the game first person?
No. Corey.
Is this a licensed game?
No.
Okay.
It's not a licensed game. So it's not first person. Is it a side scroller?
Yes.
So it's a side scroller.
Side-scrolling shooter.
Side-scrolling shooter.
Do we play? Do we know that we play as a human?
Yes, we do. We play as a human. What do you think? Contra, maybe?
Do you play as a woman?
No.
Okay. I was thinking like Metroid or something, but
that's not on multiple platforms. Crap. Did this launch on the 6th generation?
Clarify.
Huh?
What is the 6th generation?
I thought so. We're in the web.
I don't know the numbers, so you're gonna have to tell me.
You're just gonna have to use consoles when you talk about generation. Because nobody knows what generation is.
Okay, so we're now in the 8th generation. So the 7th was PS3, 360, and Wii U, and then.
Well, none of those consoles were out. If you're going by that, because that
that was 7th. I was saying the 6th, which is PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. None of those consoles were out except for Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it was before 2000. So then 5th.
I will give you 5th. So what's the 5th?
That would be the 5th.
PS1 and 64 Saturn.
PS1.
No.
No.
That was a dumb question. Sorry.
Not a licensed game. Don't play as a woman. Side-scrolling shooter. Is there platforming in this game?
Yes, there is platforming, but it's not a platformer.
Okay. Platform, but not a traditional platformer. Okay. So
like if someone were to say, "Hey, what are the best platformers of all time?" The fact that you wouldn't even consider this.
Okay. That's what fifth. Is this our huddle? Do we get one more huddle? Right.
Yes.
We're at 17, which is my question. You get one more question. You get 2 more questions. You get 18 and 20, and I get 17 and 19. So we have 4 more questions.
Yeah, but we never did our next huddle. Our 5-question huddle.
We did. We did 15.
No, this is 15.
So our huddle's right now.
Yeah, your huddle's right now.
No, he just did 16. He did question 16.
Oh well, then you skip the huddle. So do the huddle now.
So then yeah, that's what I'm saying. We skipped the huddle got skipped. All right.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna and this person has told me he'll keep quiet. Andy guessed it. So
cool, Andy.
Don't make me punch you, Andy, when I see you today.
You punch him, I will kill you.
Oh, shit.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay, so he guessed it. That bastard.
Yep.
Maybe we should just get him a $20 PSN gift card.
Buy him out, right?
He's almost caught up to me, and I'm last. He's already halfway there.
What about Contra? Contra had some platforming in it because you had to jump to like make it, to the right areas to keep moving forward in the game. So Contra, I would think.
Yeah. Contra. No.
Because I mean, 2000 would be like fifth, early sixth generation and before.
We should try to narrow down some time period / like sci-fi fantasy stuff. Like
okay, doesn't take place on Earth at all. Any time, any like fictitious setting. Doesn't take place. Okay.
Let's see here. They're shooting. Could Contra sounds like a decent guess.
That's a side scroller.
Mega Man, but
2 minutes.
It's not a traditional platformer, so I wouldn't count that out.
No, but Mega Man could be a good guess.
Yeah, but he said it's not a traditional platformer. I would consider Mega Man a platforming shooter.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, if someone asked me what genres Mega Man went into, I would clearly say platformer.
Play human. Now, we don't know if you are just the human running around or if you're in a ship.
Yeah,
so let's be R-Type, Gradius. It could be Blaster Master.
I'm gonna stop you from this one. I'm gonna stop you from wasting the question. If you're playing as a human, you're controlling a human. Whenever I answer that question, yes, you're controlling a human.
Okay,
not controlling a human driving a ship. You're not.
Okay, so if someone wants to say, do you play as a human, and you're doing and your game is R-Type, you're or Gradius, you're yes, but you still have to ask if they're in a ship. If you say human,
well, I would say in that situation, I would say no
because you're controlling a ship, but you're playing as a human in a ship is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So in this instance, you're just a human running around.
Yes.
Which I kind of like that definition of how we would define, do you play as a human? You are directly controlling a human, and what you see on the screen is a human running around. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that helps with us moving forward on 20 questions. It helps with us here right now. So I have the next guess. Corey, do you think, should I do a sci-fi setting, or do you think I should do it? Should I do, does it take place on Earth? What question do you think I should
just ask if it's sci-fi or fantasy, but in a yes or no question.
So I'm gonna have to say, is this game a sci-fi game? Because I can't get. Okay, that wasn't really the question, but okay, sure. All right, I'll take it. So it's a sci-fi game.
I cut you off because it'll help. Trust me, it's not helping me; it's helping you.
It's a sci-fi
game. Can you? Are the primary things you're shooting also human?
The primary things, no.
I really want to ask if you're shooting aliens.
Okay.
Are you shooting aliens?
Yes.
Okay, that's 19.
Was Contra not aliens?
No, it is. The third game is literally called the Alien Wars.
All right. So then we'd have to narrow it down to like what Contra it is. But anyways,
all right, so it's my turn. Should I ask about
you should ask. You should ask.
It can't be Contra though, because there's no multiplayer.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
But we can still stick with that shooting.
I was gonna say, you should ask, can you use the God code to make the game easier? But
okay, are there
Blast Smashers
power-ups in this game?
I was actually looking for that because I thought it was actually going to come up.
Well, it did. Boom. You were right for once.
There are not power-ups, but there are certain devices you need to get. So it's not really it's equipment you need to progress through some of the game, but it's not a power-up.
Okay. So this sounds like a Metroidvania game that's not Metroid.
I don't know then. And it's on multi-platforms.
Yeah.
So
well, okay. So
I guess you have Blast Smashers out because you're piloting a little vehicle. Like that's the only other platforming type side-scrolling shooter game that I can think of.
Okay, so let's try to figure this out then. What are some popular Metroidvania
No, wait a
games
second. So
during
you
the
asked,
90s?
that was your 20th question, so now we're on
Yeah.
our time. Right? Okay.
Yeah. Let's try to figure out what some Metroidvania style games are. Because they're not really traditional platformers, but you need to get weapons to progress through the game.
Or power-ups or these certain type of upgrades.
I wouldn't really count like missiles and stuff in Metroid, like power-ups. Power-ups to me is something you have for like a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything else except for like Castlevania. Were there Castlevania games
that had shooting and not melee? Like all the Castlevania games are melee combat.
Yeah,
based.
True.
They're all melee based.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, Mega Man is more of a
platforming.
Platforming. Now it has been remastered recently, so it's like I'm trying to think of games that I know that have been remastered that he would be a huge fan of. If it was remastered, it was probably PlayStation 3. So there were a lot of remasters at that time.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's run down some remasters then. What's been remastered in terms of
sci-fi side-scrolling shooters?
Yeah.
Single player. Like I can't think of it. All the ones that I would know have like multiplayer. Like Contra has multiplayer. Although, like, is all Contra multiplayer? What?
Bionic Commando.
Ooh.
Came out in the 90s, remastered on PS3.
And it doesn't
have a traditional platformer. There is shooting.
It doesn't have melee. Like it's kind of all shooting.
Yeah, and it's not traditional platformer because you have to use the grappling hook to get to places.
But yeah, that was remastered. Kind of like even a remake, but it was more remastered than a remake.
Yeah.
I say that's our guess. Like that's our guess. It's all you.
Guess.
That is a good guess. I would go with that one. That's a solid fucking guess.
Matt's shaking his head. He's trying to throw me off.
He's trying to throw you off.
Do you want to guess?
No, it's all you since you came up with it, Corey. It's your guess.
I feel
Absolving
like this
himself
isn't it,
of guilt.
but it's a good guess. Is this Bionic Commando?
No, it is not Bionic Commando.
Fuck.
Oh, that was a good guess, though.
Now, you guys are very much on the right track. It is Flashback.
God damn it! That was.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, Flashback was amazing.
You never heard of Flashback, Corey?
Mm-mm.
Oh man. Well, it's on the Switch eShop according to this Google thing. So, it was originally released in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but that was for Amiga. I was more referring to the Sega Genesis Super NES port that was released in 1993.
Yes.
It has often been called the best-selling French game of all time. You play as a human named Conrad.
I'm French. I should have known this.
Yeah, you done fucked up.
And it was remastered on PlayStation 3, and Xbox.
I think it was remastered on PlayStation 4, wasn't it?
No, it was only on PlayStation.
It was reviewed poorly as a remaster.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The remaster,
the remaster was reviewed poorly.
Yeah, it bombed.
But no, it was one of those games that I was given as a birthday gift on Super Nintendo, and I played it for hours without ever really getting anywhere. Then I got the teleporter.
I remember the box art.
All of a sudden, I was able to solve puzzles that I didn't know were even there.
Yeah.
And that became one of my favorite games for a very long time.
I remember the box art was just like the picture of the guy with the
optical thing.
The optical thing. Yeah, because I had it. And
it was very 80s cyberpunk. What
you call it, Headlander. Is a very stylish throwback to it, kind of like, but that I always remember hating some of that game just for like the missed jumps. Like if you didn't land a jump just perfectly, you'd like fall to your death.
And that was just because it was. I feel like platforming.
It was a limitation.
Yeah, it was a limit. It was a limitation, but the platforming in that was all down to. Like it was just you had to get across the ledge. It wasn't like a series of jumps.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It was just like, oh, hey, you have to jump.
You have to jump from this
over to this ledge,
not this one.
And you got to be like right on the edge of the edge to jump over to make your character like grab and pull you up. And if you missed it, like I was saying, you would just fall to your death, and then you'd have to reload.
And Andy, I agree with his statement. He says Flashback impacted on him because it was his first weird game. And I think it was definitely one of mine. It was either that or Star Tropics, if you remember that. Those were my first like real off the wall.
I would say this was my first weird game too. Because I remember playing it and just being like, what is this? I don't even think I beat it. Like I didn't even think I beat the game.
Like I remember the first enemy you see, you're like, I don't know, because you don't have the. I mean, if you go the right way, you don't have the gun yet, and if you're up against the enemy, you have no way to fight it, so you don't know what to do. I'm like, and I'm sitting here thinking Mario or Sonic logic. Do I jump on its head? I mean, what do I do here? Do
I roll through it? Because there's like some games where you can roll through enemies, like if you time it just right. So that brings everybody to tie. Correct. Which means we're tied until next week when I pull ahead. Because y'all motherfuckers ain't guessing this game. I already picked it.
God hand.
I will say this. Andy did say he might be on next Monday, which I will totally allow.
Of course.
He is the first guest I will allow pick a game and quiz us.
Ooh.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
Like I know we've done this. We've not done this on the regular, but like he's gotten 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And
I could see him asking like a crazy game question. So that'd be fun.
So if he's on, when he's on, he gets to pick his game, and plus he might tie me at that point because he's already got 2.
Yeah. What are you? Well, you're at what, 4?
I'm at 4.
Because we're at 5. We're at 5.
No,
we're all at 5. We're all at 4.
We're all at 4.
I'll be going to 5.
Yeah, you'll be going to 5. You've already got your eyes on that prize.
Oh, y'all ain't gonna get this one, motherfuckers.
No, I know we're not, because you're like looking at every Atari game that you can think of.
No. I have a couple games in mind, but remember, it also has to be a game that you had to have played a little bit. I feel so it can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna pick this ancient 360.
I'm gonna pick this game that no one's played because no one heard of it, and and then just lie that I did because no, I'm not gonna do that. Like I think we were saying this last time. The one thing that we've always sort of done is we have to make sure we've played it and we're not doing any weird shit.
Right. So.
All right. So with 20 questions over, that's the show. So, Moose, where can we find you?
You can find me at Svhenn, Svhenn, on PlayStation, and also Twitter, Instagram. Also, you can find me co-hosting Nerds Gone Platinum. You can listen to us as one of the other podcasts under the family of Nerds Gone Rogue. Mm-hmm. Jason, Jeff, and I record that on Tuesdays, and it goes up Thursdays. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can tweet us at ng_platinum or email us at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com.
It's a good show.
It is a good show. We talk about PlayStation and have a blast with it.
Well, I am Matthew Keel. You can find me on every social media platform I choose to be on at Infinite_Rewind. If you are talking to someone named Infinite_Rewind and it's not this dumb face saying dumb stuff that this dumb face would say, don't talk to them anymore because
that's not me.
That's not me. And well, maybe you don't want to talk to me, but fine, you do you. But like, I'm just gonna say, I don't vouch for whatever that person says.
The number one giveaway that it's not him is they're not racist. I'm just kidding.
We're all white. We're all automatically racist.
Yeah, I mean, I try my best not to. Oh, God damn it, Moose! Fucking asshole. My blood pressure.
That's what I'm here for.
Wow. That threw me off my game. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Friend me on PlayStation. We can play a game together because I need to stop playing Zelda and apparently being racist. And yeah, that's where Corey, take us home. I can't.
Matt's ready to fall asleep at this.
No, I am just broken to a degree.
You can find me at Corey and HD on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on a plethora of other shows here on NGR Radio, including the host of Nintendo Power Block. Goes up every Tuesday and sometimes Fridays if there's something exciting to talk about.
That's a good show too.
Yeah, you can check out our new Let's Play shows, Squad Goals and Pod and Play. Season 2 of Pod and Play is underway. By the time this goes up, our last episode would have been Metro 2033 and Squad Goals, where we play through some multiplayer games, and check out the first couple episode zeros of Hammer Bros Inc., where Moose, Matt, and I played some Bloodborne. That was fun too.
We need to keep it moving.
I know.
Now that everybody's out there, I'd love to get invaded. I'd like the 3 of us to get invaded. And kind of handle somebody's business. Be like, no, you don't come in here and start shit. You know?
Yeah,
He's not wrong.
this is
So
true.
I think we
This is
should
true.
do that. And I think we should hit some chalice dungeons.
Yeah,
And I think we should move you closer to that plat, man. I mean, we're not that far off. We were what,
really not.
3 or 4 dungeons in?
I think
Yeah,
we are to the 3rd actual chalice, so that's
So then maybe 3 chalices.
we're creeping up. We're creeping up on the Curse to Miriam area. We're creeping
But
up
see,
on
here's the thing.
Amygdala.
See, here's the thing. I think we will have less of a hard time with Amygdala now than we did before, because I learning the whole overhead attack with
Yeah,
Hunter's Axe. But the only problem is I feel he jumps more in the Chalice Dungeon
he
than
does.
he does in his normal level, and therefore that's where you get fucked, because if he lands on you, it's pretty much one hit, you're dead. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
you got to see him take off, and you just have to roll in direction and pray he doesn't land on you.
Well, if he jumps, roll forward.
That's
Because more
true.
often than not, he doesn't.
Jump like straight up and down. Yeah, that's
Like,
a good point.
more often than not, you land in that little area underneath his arms,
Yeah,
in between his legs, where you can just hopefully get a shot off at his head because his head's all the way down.
that's a good point. That's a good
But
point.
yeah, no, yeah. Like, I think I would.
I hate him more than Madeir.
Oh yeah, fuck Madeir too.
Yeah, but
Madeir.
now,
Oh, Madeir.
like I was able to beat Madeir with some assistance, but it
Mhm.
wasn't as nearly as. I remember having to go farm blood vials because we were
Yeah.
running out of blood vials, and I think I went down half my insight. I had 99 insight, and I was down to like 40 some. So that's like a shit ton of attempts for
Yeah.
us to try and.
I mean, I know that when we actually do that dungeon, like I would probably plant that in my world and fight Amygdala a couple times just so I could get used to it again because it's been long enough. But anyway,
Anyways,
Corey, finish us off. Chop the head off this mantis. We're done.
Okay. Remember to like, subscribe, and share to the YouTube page, youtube.com/NGR Radio. Rate us on iTunes or whatever podcast service you listen to us on. Leave us a comment, a nice one. Leave us some questions. Email us at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com so we can answer your questions. Check out NGR Radio B-Sides. And I think that's it. So, thank you so much for watching. And until next week, we love you.
yeah.
I just called to say banana and out.
Sure.
You're welcome. And stop a broadcast.
Not enough.
And we are live
Are we, though?
on the internet.
We are live on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Toad.
Hell yeah, Captain.
Treasure tracker.
Magic words, dude.
I don't fucking know. What is it? Treasure
That's
tracker.
Captain
even
Toad, Treasure Tracker.
All right. All right.
The new donk.
So I was like really excited that they announced Luigi's Mansion until they showed it on 3DS.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Then I was like, nope.
Why?
Don't support that. Don't support bad behavior.
Yeah, you tell him, Corey. You get in their face.
I was going to, but the cord is too short on my
Yeah,
lip.
I can see like it looks like
Yeah, I'm
a
just
carrot's
gonna get
about
up
to
close.
fall
Let me get up close. Don't support bad behavior.
I like that. I can imagine like that would be his daughter. Like don't support microtransactions and bad behavior. Like growing up, but Daddy, I just want to play games with my friends.
No, you will start with the NES, like I had to.
So, okay, that could be a topic for another time as well. But
Yeah.
that's a good, no, that's a good, you know.
Yeah, it's something that we can
It's
always.
like, do you force your kid to start where you started, or do you like naturally show them things and just kind of let them pick their course? Because I think Captain Canada just lets his son play whatever. He's not like, oh, you need to play this. This was my favorite game of your age. He's just letting his son do his own thing. And if he finds stuff naturally, and probably waits till his kid gets to that age where his son's like, Dad, what did you love as a kid? Because I mean, his kid's like, what, 6? You don't fucking know. He's just out having fun, loves his dad, loves his family, just wants to play games. He's not in it to be like, Daddy, I love you so much. Like, what did you play when you were a kid? You know what I mean? He hasn't reached like
Fallout 2 now.
yeah. You will survive the horrors of Fallout 2, or you will move out.
And you will listen to Minor Threat while doing it.
Damn.
Right, Bagel?
You will play Grand Theft Auto 1.
Oh, yeah. The deep cut.
You'll like it.
Play Grand Theft Auto London, sucker.
Anyways.
You will play Sonic Adventure. You'll like it.
I would not wish that on anybody. Actually, did I even play Sonic Adventure? I don't even know.
I did. Guess what? I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now.
That reminds me, I have to figure out my game for 20 questions. So, Corey, go ahead and get us started while I do that.
All right. Well, we're going to do some B-sides. We're going to answer a question. And then, welcome to NGR Radio Live in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I listened to that first episode a little bit today. Whoa!
Like, wow.
Yeah.
We sound nervous.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I'm going to go handle some shit real quick.
To quote Rick, I'm going to go take a shit.
Well, not that, but...
Don't lie. Go take a shit.
Nah.
It's fine.
Bio break,
Clap
beer
along
break,
if
and I will
you
be
feel
back.
that you really
I'll be back
got
before
it.
9 o'clock. So.
Oh, okay. You're definitely not shitting. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll be
See you
right
in a
back,
little
too. I'm going to go say hi to my wife. She just got home.
All right. Well, I am here all by myself, except for Andy. I don't know what to do with this. This is the problem when you were a radio DJ that was very bad at filling dead air. It's difficult. It's actually really, really difficult. I don't have the improv ability to really do this. So if this is boring for you, Andy, I'm really sorry. But I did see in the chat that, okay, you want to take over? Don't, dude, friend me on Facebook. I will send you the link to the video. We could jump in. That's not a joke. Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna find you real quick. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? All right. What's this episode? There we go. Okay, good. Facebook. Andy Kluhl. Hell yeah. Add friend. Send message. It's happening, Andy. There you go. There you go. If you want in, now's your time to shine. Actually, that's okay. You could just be the voice. It's fine. Crap, they're back.
What's up? Y'all can talk about music. I'll talk about music. I'm not the one you gotta worry about.
I know you will, but we're just gonna one of these days, Corey's eyes are just gonna roll in the back. It's gonna be like this eyeball right here.
Yeah.
just gonna white. Oh, Andy, no mic, no video. Come on, you gotta do one. You don't have mic and headphones anywhere. You have iPhone headphones with a mic. That'll work. That's what Corey uses, basically. A Blue Yeti. That's just for show.
It might be tough for him to converse though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm up for overcoming adversity whenever you are, Andy.
Ditto. You can come on the show anytime you want.
Hell yeah, you can. Oh, I'm just gonna... This is bothering me.
I'm ready for the... We don't even have a topic tonight. It's whatever. I'm surprised I got out earlier tonight than I thought I would, because they're firing one of the chicks on our team.
Oh shit! Why?
I think he's worthless.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah.
So that's rather interesting.
That's how I feel at my job sometimes. I feel
you're worthless, or people are worthless.
Well, like
column A and B.
I feel like that at the hospital I've been at for 3 years now. Oh God, that's so good. I love that stuff. The hospital.
How much this pint was?
$6.
$2. $1.99.
Fuck you. No,
I know you're not the hugest fan, but guess how much Two Hearted Ale is?
$1.50.
No, it's $2.
Yeah. No. Well, it's not that I'm not the hugest. Like I think Two Hearted is an okay beer. I don't think it's shit like John Martin does, but it is so far off the best beer in America that it's like doesn't even belong in the conversation to me. It really doesn't. But the hospital I've been at for 3 years, I always feel like I am just as close to becoming like ingratiated in like the department as I am to being just pushed out of it. Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily like I have really good confidence in my X-ray skills, but I feel like that group of people have just all been together for so long that like I'm definitely the outsider. And I didn't learn X-ray there, so like I feel like that sort of pushes me away. So I have to sort of really mind my P's and Q's a lot more there. At the hospital I started at the most recently, I haven't even been there a year yet. I'm actually 3 months away from a year.
Okay.
And this just comes with like knowing that different facilities work different ways. I always feel like I am one protocol mistake from being written up.
Really?
Yeah. I always, because like I didn't
you get that feeling because, not saying you're sloppy, but not as good as other people think you should be, or is it just because you just look down on yourself like that?
No. It's none of this actually has anything to do with my opinion of myself. Because like as far as X-ray concerned, I feel like I'm a good tech.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident going into any OR. I'm confident going into any ER. I'm confident going into the trauma. I'm confident doing every portable that I'll do. But when a certain protocol is different enough from one facility to another, I feel like because I will constantly forget like a certain thing, one of those images, or forget trying to get one of those images to the point where like they're saying like he's not doing the work, and I'm like, it sucks that I'm not here as often as I should be. And then my third job, which is at it's the urgent care I was at full time with before new hospital started.
Okay.
I could give a shit about that place. Like literally the only reason I go there is because I know hours at one place will dry up and I'm going to need to supplement that with stuff from the other place. So
Okay.
I'm like literally as long as they'll keep letting me in the door, I'm okay with it. And I feel like I am more there for them than they are for me.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
So have you heard Bluepoint is teasing that they're doing a remake bigger? The next game they do is a remake, which is bigger than Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I saw that.
They reported that yesterday, and a lot of speculation is that it's Demon Souls. Which
I could see that.
I could totally see them doing that. I'd be really excited if they were.
Me too.
That would make a lot of people happy. But I mean, me included.
I mean, I think that makes sense considering they're shutting the things off, like the servers off soon, and Dark Souls just got remastered, and
yeah,
it would make sense.
Was Shadow of Colossus was a team effort with Studio Japan, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think
No, Studio Japan was very loosely affiliated with Demon Souls.
No. Not I'm talking Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, okay. Yes, that was Studio Japan.
Like they helped Bluepoint, and that's what I'm saying because here's my train of thought. Okay, so Bluepoint remakes Shadow of the Colossus. Studio Japan assists. Okay, this is after Studio Japan worked with From Software to make Bloodborne. So logically, Studio Japan would work with Bluepoint to help remake Demon Souls. You know what I'm saying?
Studio Japan was involved in Demon Souls.
I thought you said like ever so slightly.
Yeah, they were probably involved as loosely as they were in Bloodborne. I mean, it's not like Studio Japan had a team on Bloodborne. They didn't. That's all From. The only reason that I can surely guess. The only reason I can surely guess this is because From Software's games are all theirs.
Oh yeah, they just produced it. Produced with From Software because they got a bunch that says like they developed with Project Siren and Bluepoint. They did the Gravity Rush remake.
Yeah,
Last Guardian developed with Jet. Yeah, so they've got a bunch of stuff.
Let's talk about this after we talk about what we're playing. Because I did not know about this story. So
yeah, I'll find some links for you, bro. And
I'm actually looking at it right now. It's fine.
Okay, never mind.
It's a Eurogamer story, and they fucking Eurogamer, man. They're good.
Yeah, they are. I really enjoy their stuff. Yeah, they are very good.
Fantastic.
All right, we ready?
I'm ready. Yeah. Sorry, yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
I've been ready since I sat back down, but yes.
3, 2, 1.